You're listening to Zap Night, a video game review podcast, with your hosts, Danny and Kaylie. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 28 for Zap Night. I'm your host, Danny.
And I'm your co-host, Kaylie.
And today we are trying something a little bit different with a video. Specifically, if you're not watching the video on our YouTube channel, go to our YouTube channel and check it out. Subscribe while you're there. And you can see our beautiful faces and our like crazy game room setup that we got going on. The idea is to try and theme it up a little bit for each episode, though there are some games that I'm sure we're not going to have anything, so we'll just do random stuff. So anyway, today we are talking about Pokemon Snap. We played Pokemon Snap this month. I mean, it only took us, I think my playthrough was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. I don't know how long mine was. Probably about that long, because I had to restart because my game froze and I didn't save it.
Sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
You think it was your Nintendo, or you think it was the game? Both?
One of the two. Who knows? It's just one of those, it went to a different screen and it was just like,
oh, that sucks.
Just an old system.
Well, you have like the worst luck with that.
I know, seriously. Spyro and Final Fantasy 1,
like all the Final
2,
Fantasies.
Yeah, that's right.
I think every Final Fantasy so far you've had to restart.
So yeah,
that sucks.
Good times.
Well, I suppose it's bound to happen. We'll probably get to the PlayStation era of Final Fantasies and
then we'll be skipping discs.
Oh yeah, or we'll have the memory cards erase randomly.
Yeah, that would be.
Then we'll be using cheat codes to get ourselves back to where we were. Oh man, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
So anyway, Pokemon back on topic
Snap.
here. Pokemon Snap was developed by HAL Laboratory. They are now part of Nintendo, but obviously Nintendo published Pokemon Snap. Its original release was on the Nintendo 64, but they have re-released it for the Wii U.
Yeah.
And I've heard that there are people that have actually hacked the Wii U version and have made it like VR, which would be awesome. It was originally released exactly 19 years ago.
Today?
Tomorrow, but the 30th.
Yeah.
June 30th. June 30th, 1999 is when it was released in North America.
Aww, does that make you feel special?
A little bit, because it is my birthday. Yeah, June 30th is my birthday. Story-wise, basically, you are in control of a photographer who gets called in to Professor Oak. He gets called in by Professor Oak to the Pokemon Island. And, Professor Oak wants you to take pictures of Pokemon on the island for his special research. And Oak gives you a vehicle that he names 01.
Yeah, it's something kind of weird like that.
And you explore the island, and this vehicle can like transform and into like any necessity for the environment, so it can kind of go wherever it needs to.
It floats and stuff.
It can float. It can ride on a train track. It can fly.
It reminded me, just the machine itself reminded me of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it kind of does, like a capsule machine.
Yeah,
totally. Let's see. With help from Professor Oak, Todd has to go and take pictures of the 6 signs in the island for them to be able to discover this rainbow cloud. And once you discover the rainbow cloud, you can then go and take a picture of Mew. And that's kind of where the game ends. So, not much for story, but there is, a bit of story to it. It's just not quite as epic as a normal Pokemon game.
I feel like for the story, if you know Pokemon, that's all you really need to know. Just Pokemon.
Right.
And it really kind of tells itself. What story you get is all that you really need. You don't really need a whole lot.
You just need a reason to be where you're at.
What I think is interesting, and I don't know how it worked out, but, Todd is actually in the anime, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought that was cool taking, because it could have been like Ash, and that wouldn't have been as fun.
Sure,
to me.
yeah.
I like this bit of an aspect to it, but yeah, I think that just it kind of tells itself just as you go, like kind of almost like an RPG, not quite, but you know what I mean. And you kind of learn as Todd learns, and as he's experiencing these things. So
I think again, my only real downfall was that it wasn't as epic as a normal Pokemon game is. I mean, usually there's some big thing going on that you got to go and do, or you have to save the world in some way.
well, the big thing
like
was,
even the side games are like that. So
the big thing for this was supposed to be Mew, and my only bad thing about this was that I didn't understand, first of all, like, what are you, in the stars when you're taking pictures of Mew? I wish
you're in the rainbow cloud.
I just wish there would have been more like hype around it or something other
a
than
little
there's
more
signs.
epic. And were the signs all that difficult for you to find?
The hardest one I think really was like Pinsir. The shadow and
yeah. I think I did that
which,
one.
I mean, you figure it out, so it's not like it's that
the hardest
hard.
one for me was the lava tunnel, where you have to like throw the ball into the volcano for it to shoot that cloud.
Oh, you know what? That is right.
Cloud.
I forgot about that.
Like, I had no idea.
Even when I knew, I didn't know either. I had to look it up. But even when I knew, it was like hard to get it to.
Yeah, totally. I was roaming all the tracks, all the courses, and I was like just rotating around and around and around, trying to find something that was out of place. And most of them I was able to figure it out. But that one, it was like there was nothing specifically out of place until I happened to notice that like smog cloud was popping up, and it kind of looked like coughing. And so when I threw the ball in there, it happened, and I took a picture of it, but it didn't count. So then I had to go through and do it again. And when I did that, it wasn't like registering.
That
I don't know. It was weird. I was throwing the Pokeball, or the what was it called?
The Pester Ball.
Yeah. I was throwing that thing in like the same spot in the volcano, and it just wasn't showing up. I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, story. What did you give it for story?
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I gave it a 5.
I thought about giving it a 5, but I felt like what story there could be, like they did everything. Like I felt like it was okay.
I think that it could have been more epic. I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting like an RPG story to it, but it was a Pokemon game. You could have done more with the story than just you could find Mew.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it's not a bad story. It's just there's not much there.
So graphics.
Yeah, we'll move on to graphics.
I mean, this one's hard because for one thing,
it's an old game.
Yeah. But I feel like it kind of has its own style, and like there could have been a lot more polygons than there was.
Yeah.
So
it did look clean for what you got out of it. It had a very clean look to the overall game. There were little spots like the river where the Poliwags were behind that like
you're supposed to lure
grass. Them out. Well, yeah, I know that, but the grass looks very much like a fence.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, I don't expect too much with it being a 64 game. It still looks really good, so I didn't dock it too many points. But yeah, there was.
I mean, when you consider for its time, there's a lot of Pokemon, and there's a lot going on. I really feel like
I think the best aspect of it was how many animations the Pokemon had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Considering there was, 63 Pokemon total?
Something like that, yeah.
And each one had different animations, and like you played the flute and some of them would dance, and it was really neat to see them put that much work into every single Pokemon. And I feel that way about the whole Pokemon franchise in general, because every Pokemon, there's so many Pokemon now, and each one has, their unique sound and their unique, look and animation, and it's crazy.
What's really important about this game, though, is it's a photography.
Yeah.
It has to have good, decent graphics anyway. Yeah. And for me, being able to pretty much take, 360 all around you, you're taking, like, you have the option to look behind you, in front of you, and
it would make this an awesome, like, legit VR game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be so cool.
a lot of Pokemon Snap fans out there really want.
Yeah, I know.
And I
A
do
sequel.
too. It would be amazing. And mind you, I think what would be perfect right now with the Alolan, that would be perfect just to have those Pokemon even.
Yeah.
Just the like the Kanto ones different
Since we're on the topic of a sequel, what would you like to see in a sequel, like in general?
Just a more glorified version of this on its own island with...
I mean, for me, I don't mind the limited amount of Pokemon. I mean, obviously I would have liked more.
More, absolutely.
But I was okay with the Pokemon that they had. I just I really like having to hunt down the Pokemon. I love having to look for them. So that aspect of it made it a lot of fun, which is why when I played the game, I played it all the way through and I actually found all the Pokemon. And that was part of the fun of it, was trying to hunt down each one and, I don't know, it was fun.
My 64, it took a lot to... I mean, you could hear it running and stuff, and for mine...
You hear the 64 running?
A little bit, yeah. Maybe I just didn't get mine looked at. In any case...
I don't think it has a fan, so I don't know what you would hear.
Well, it was in the kitchen, I don't know. It was in a weird spot. In any case... I guess for what I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of information for this little game for back then.
Sure.
And now, I mean, there's so many more possibilities. I feel like they could push out so many more Pokemon, so many more options, and maybe the ability to even run through the field yourself. Like, that's what it would be nice to see.
Yeah, I did add that as one of the negatives for this game, is I would have liked more exploration and a little more control over that exploration. I put it in graphics just because I didn't really know where else to put it. I mean, you're really limited to the track that is set, like the set track that you're on. So when you're looking through other people's pictures for Pokemon Snap, they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to have had a little more flexibility in where you went. But again, considering the time frame that this was made, considering the limitations of the hardware, they did an awesome job.
The nice thing that I liked, which kind of falls into gameplay too, but when you're able to accelerate, you're able to get these Pokemon at different times too.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is kind of nice. Like, they are pretty much all the same, but on the other hand, you still have a little bit of variety in there, which is nice. And I feel like this is a game you could go back and play multiple times.
Yeah, definitely replayability on that. So what'd you give it for a graphics score?
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it an 8 too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's
I did.
Good.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it could have been better, but I mean, I have higher expectations now than I did, when this game first released. So, let's move on to gameplay.
The star.
The shining star, yep.
The whole game, basically.
Yeah.
It is the soul of the game, honestly.
For a photography game, it was a lot of fun. It was challenging to get those perfect shots.
Yeah.
But once you start learning the course, you learn where the Pokemon are and when they're going to appear and what you got to do to make them appear. So you can, challenge yourself to, okay, I want to get Scyther. Like, I am doing this course to get Scyther, and then you go and you do it, and you get that shot that you want, and then you feel better to move on, So, I mean, if you did that for every single Pokemon, yeah, you could put a lot of hours into this game,
I would have liked the option to accelerate be a little earlier than what you got it.
Yeah.
I understood why it was later, but it just, you have to really replay some of these a lot. Like the very first one was...
Yeah, I think we played the beach. I played the beach one maybe like 7-8 times. Yeah. And yeah, it does get repetitive after a while.
Some of these I really don't like. And if you're trying to just get one Pokemon and it's all the way at the end,
you don't have a choice but to try and push through it. Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, the gameplay, that was the game. That was. Yeah. I liked having the different pester balls, the apples.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the variety of items that they had in the game.
Which, again, they did a sequel. You could toss different kinds of berries for different Pokemon that like different berries.
I don't know, try and catch a Pokemon?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Cute. your buddy Pokemon?
Yeah.
They just need a Pokemon Go too.
They do.
Pokemon Snap too.
Nintendo, listen to this podcast. I'm telling you. Because Nintendo, we're so big now that Nintendo,
That's right.
Nintendo is listening.
Our 2 viewers.
for the gameplay in general, it's fun to play, but it's also really fun to watch. Like, I have fun just like watching. For research for this episode, not that I did a whole lot, but I did check out a couple Let's Plays, and it's fun just to sit and watch other people play it too.
I watched you for like, I believe, an hour or so, and it
Yeah.
was fun just watching. Although there was a couple times I'm like, wait, go back.
Yeah, I know. Well, I felt that way just playing the game. When you're on this track and it's like, no, I missed that. Go back. Like,
yeah, that was
crap.
a very frustrating feeling of no, go back.
Yeah.
Isn't there a break on this thing? Just get out.
Well, I mean,
real
you
quick.
could throw a Pokemon in front of your vehicle, and
I
then
did
you'll
that
break.
a lot to that Electabuzz.
I did too, on accident most of the time. Yeah, the one in the tunnel, I think.
Yeah.
I like that the game stayed true to the Pokemon games. Again, what little research I did, this wasn't meant to be a Pokemon game. It wasn't even meant to be like a photography game.
Really?
It was originally designed, I think, with the intention of it being like a farming simulator, and then it morphed into like a photography type
I didn't
game.
know that.
And then they were upset that it wasn't characters that Nintendo created, so they went with Pokemon, and it just kind of sprouted out of that. So, I mean,
this would have been if it was during this era, this would have been an app.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, it's Pokemon Go, right?
It is.
I mean,
Pokemon
essentially,
Go, yeah.
it's Pokemon Go. I liked that even through all that transition, they really did stay true to the Pokemon series in how the Pokemon evolved, and even the like
fun.
little battling that the Pokemon did between themselves.
Yeah, the Pidgeys and the Meowth. And...
There was the Magmar and the Charmanders. Yeah. I mean, just all that interaction was so much fun. It's just really neat that they were able to keep that strong Pokemon feeling in this game without losing it too much. Because, I mean, you could have just thrown Pokemon out there and been like, I don't know what they do. Here they are. Take pictures, you know. Could have been a lot worse, but they did a really good job.
I really liked the some of the hidden Pokemon too, like the Chansey. That was really... I had no idea what that Eevee was pushing around, though.
You could see the Chansey's face.
But why?
I don't know, just something else to take a picture of.
Weird.
Another Pokemon to throw in there.
I suppose I mean, I thought it was really cute, but at first I didn't know. I mean, I remember because I played this when I was a kid, but I you can't tell it's a Chansey.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like all the little challenges of this game.
The different Pikachus.
And trying to figure out how to evolve different Pokemon and what to get Gyarados, there's like a very specific sequence of events that you have to perform in order to get that Gyarados to appear.
Or even to be able to take pictures of the signs. You have to like make sure to hit those Squirtles just right.
Yeah, yep, that too.
Did you have to look up any Pokemon to get?
No, I was able to get them all on my own, more or less. Lori did tell me of the Pokemon that were still out there, so we kind of went through the list of Pokemon that I had taken a picture of.
If you had to look up what Pokemon.
I just needed to figure out which Pokemon I needed, and then I could kind of guess where they were. Yeah. Like, I think I needed Dragonair or Dragonite or whatever. Yeah. And
I was telling you that in the comments too.
Yeah, and it was like I knew that it had to have been in the valley somewhere, so I was trying to figure out what I had to do to do that.
It's really funny because a lot of this stuff as I was playing, I forgot. But when I did it, was like, oh right, I remember this. It's so funny how you forget.
I only really remembered maybe the first 2 or 3 levels.
Oh,
like
really?
I didn't remember anything after that.
I remember all of it. I remember you playing the Mew level when we were kids.
I don't remember that at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I remember my other friends getting there, but actually, I don't think I really had. I might have rented Pokemon Snap a couple times, but I didn't really have a 64 growing up. I kind of went from the Super Nintendo to the PlayStation. So my other friends had the 64, but it wasn't really me.
Maybe I played it on my own one day.
I have no idea.
So yeah, would you...
the Mew. Oh, I want to talk about the Mew fight. The Mew challenge?
The boss?
The boss fight, yeah.
You were saying, I haven't gotten this yet, but you were saying it was kind of similar to how Pokemon Go's Mew
yeah, it is. It's similar in that Mew, you can't just take a picture of them. You have to do a series of events in order to take a picture of them. So that made it fun.
Yeah.
It made Pokemon Go fun because it was very similar. But when I'm playing this, it's it's neat to see that correlation, but it's also just fun to make it more challenging than here's Mew, take a picture,
Yeah.
I was watching a Let's Play, and you can just keep throwing that ball at
That's
him.
what I was trying
And
to
I
get
didn't
you
realize,
to...
I thought that you just had to keep, once you get him once, you take a picture, and then you got to do it again before he gets back in his ball.
I see, no.
But I realized that you could just keep throwing the ball at him.
I've got a really close picture of him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
we'll have to look at our scores. I'm curious what your score is compared to mine. Although then I'd have to set up my 64 all over again, so I don't know.
I took a picture of your stats.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you take a picture of yours?
I think so. The only stats I didn't get was of my like my top Pokemon list. I didn't get those. But yeah, what'd you give the gameplay?
A 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I did have a couple negative things. I didn't like that you could only save one picture of each Pokemon.
But you could put it in your album. You send the Professor Oaks in, and then you have an album option when you cancel out of selecting your pictures, you would normally go down and like continue on, but you can go down to your album
and then you can
and
add
mark them and save them. Haha, you're gonna change your score?
I might. And I would have liked more stages. Mainly because of the repetitive nature of it.
Yeah,
you only had the six levels plus Mew, so 7 levels.
That is quite a bit, but 3 hours worth is...
It is quite a bit, and they were really long stages, but you had to keep playing the same ones over and over and over and over again. On the flip
side, though, this was clearly designed for kids, and as a kid, it did entertain us for a long time.
It still is super entertaining. Again, replayability is all over the place. Now that I've beat it, I can go back, I can launch this game and play any level, anytime, just for fun. I don't have to beat the whole thing over again. I can just start playing, and that makes it a lot of fun.
I go back and forth because I really do feel like it is replayable, but there's only so much you can do in a day. Because by the time I finished the game, I was like, okay, I'm done. And just...
But if you're kind of itching to play it, the ability to just start it up and play any level and take pictures is fun. It's just fun.
It is fun.
It's just a fun game. All right, let's move on. Music. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Did you say music? Like Mew, the Pokemon?
Haha. No, but you did.
I did. Welcome back.
Wow.
Wonderful.
That was wonderful. So, music. Overall, it was normal Pokemon music. There were a few that were very iconic for the stages or the Pokemon Snap as a whole.
I got bored of them.
Did you really?
Yeah. I liked the first one because it kind of reminded me, which another great idea for Pokemon Snap 2, Safari Zone.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
but
totally.
I liked the first one because it kind of reminded me of you're on a safari. And the rest of them really fit. What I liked about the music is they really fit the level. Like the cave one was perfect cave music.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there was nothing wowing about them. After a while, it was like, oh, if I didn't like the level, I didn't like the music. So when I heard the music, it was just...
The Mew song was pretty cool.
That was really
backgrounds
cool. And Mew's little...
Yeah, I know.
He's so cute.
The intro, little video that they have, that bong, is very... As soon as that song starts up, it's like, oh, Pokemon Snap is playing. I hear that sound, it's like, oh, Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
The done it going into...
Oh, yeah.
He's over there moving his finger. I don't know what it looks like Todd's doing.
Yeah, he's
and then Professor Oak's like...
You can do it.
You can do it.
All the Pokemon had their original voice actors.
Really?
From the anime.
I kind of figured, but I wasn't sure. Yeah,
so that was kind of fun.
You mean the whole... Oh, the actual Pokemon?
All the Pokemon. It was Professor Oak too, but all the Pokemon. also had the original voice
Cool.
actors that did the Pokemon noises.
That is really cool. Yeah.
So I mean, it just adds a little bit more
Yeah,
to the
makes it
background
more
of it.
special.
I don't know what I put for negatives. Let's take a look.
I just
Not very many stages, so there's not very many songs.
yeah.
I mean, really, that's
There's
what
like-
it boils
yeah.
down to. I mean, I can't say that I was expecting more for it being a 64 game, but I noticed that it was a short game. You
Yeah.
know, I noticed that there wasn't much to choose from, so I mean that kind of deterred from it a little bit.
For me, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. So I mean, it wasn't
What'd
bad.
you score your
I gave it a
music?
6 out of 10.
6. I gave it an 8.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I liked it enough.
Yeah,
I don't know.
fair game.
So overall score, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 9 out of 10 too, but good and bad left more to be desired.
Yeah, absolutely. I just cannot believe that they haven't made a sequel for this game. Just blows my mind. Overall, it's a really, really fun game. It's absolutely worth playing if you get a chance to play it. It's easy to pick up anytime, and you can just play it whenever you're itching to play this
Right.
game. You don't necessarily have to sit and play each one, level per level. Once you unlock the level, you can just kind of play it whenever you want, and that makes a lot of fun. Yeah.
Good game. Love this game. This is one of my favorites.
If it was a little bit longer, I would have gave it
1,000 out of 10.
a bigger, higher score.
Yeah, and it had a lot of Pokemon in it, but there was still a couple that it would have been nice to have had in there. I'm really happy. My favorite Pokemon was in it, so
Who's that?
Arcanine.
Nice.
But it would have been nice to have a couple out there.
My favorite was Mew, so I mean,
Mew is really cute.
he was obviously in it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that they didn't have a Mewtwo in it.
Well,
like,
they
that
did.
would've
He
been-
was the sign.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
What I forgot to really talk about under gameplay was I liked the when you took a picture of something and it shows up different in the film, like the ghosts. That was so
yeah,
cute.
that's smart.
But that's how Mewtwo popped up, because you don't really see what it is until you took the picture.
Yeah, and I remember when I went through that cave level the first time, and I saw those things shining in the background. I'm like, what is that? And I tried taking a picture of it. Nothing showed up until you unlock the whole sign thing. But yeah, it was kind of weird at first. And I didn't remember the sign thing at all. I don't think I got that very far in the game when I originally was playing it.
I do kind of remember the Kingler one in the very beginning, and I remember seeing Doug Trio in the past. Like I'm like, oh yeah, there's Doug Trio, but I didn't remember the sign part. And of all the signs, you would have thought the shelter sign, the obvious
That's what I
sign
thought
of
too.
the whole. Yeah.
Well, when Professor Oak says you got to take pictures of signs, I'm like,
Okay,
taking it
take a
literal.
picture of the sign, yeah.
Like, well, I know there's a sign in the river.
Never mind. It's behind the vial plume.
Yeah. And that one, I think there was 3 that were really easy, and then there was 3 that was a little bit harder. The easy ones was the cave.
Oh, Pinsir. There was Pinsir,
the
Kingler,
tunnel, the cave for me.
the coughing,
so my easy ones was the Pinsir, it was Mewtwo, and Doug Trio. Those were the easy ones. The harder ones that it took me a little more time to find was the Kingler
Cubone
on the beach. Cubone took me a little more time, and then coughing was the hardest one.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Pinsir was, or not Pinsir.
Cubone?
Kingler was easier to find once I realized, oh, this rock looks different.
Yeah.
And then you start following it, and it's like, oh, it's a Pokemon. Kind of the same thing with Cubone. Like, you're looking around in the world, and you're like, that looks different than everything else. And then you start watching it, and it's like, oh, it's Cubone. So, and you could only take a picture of it when the smog was gone. So you had to play the flute, so you had to make sure that you could actually get a clear picture of it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. The little things.
The little things.
There's a lot of those little things.
The Porygons were really cute too.
That I thought it was weird that they were like hiding in the wall.
Yeah,
I didn't really understand that.
I would have expected the Porygons to have been in the cave. Well, not the cave,
Yeah.
but the tunnel with the like electric
Oh
Pokemon.
yeah, sure. Like coming out of the TV.
Yeah,
That
would
would've
have
been
cool.
neat.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Or
What the heck?
I would have liked to have
Pokemon Snap
done.
2.
I would have liked to have done something to the Porygon to make him shake off the leaves
Yeah,
to
so
be like
just-
normal colored.
You can.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
I'm missing something
You
here.
only played in 3 hours.
Yeah, I
dude.
guess there's a few
Noob.
things that I missed. I know that I missed Lapras. Like I took a picture of the Lapras like way far out, but I didn't get a picture of him like
if
close
you
up.
follow them, if you continue, that was a nice thing. One of the cool things too, you have to like continuously take pictures of them to make them like
And they
trigger
would,
more. Because that's how it was with the Grimer turning him into a mug. Or if you continue to take pictures of the Lapras, eventually you'll get one really close up in the
Gotcha.
water.
Yeah, I knew that I missed that one, but I didn't know how to do
Yeah.
it, so I just like I got a Lapras. It's fine.
Next.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So my total score is a 39 out of 50. What'd you give?
39 out of 50?
Yeah, my total score. My overall score was a 9 out of 10. My total
I'm sorry.
39 out of 50.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm messing
What
up.
is wrong?
Oh, I thought you were giving I thought you were changing one of your scores.
No. My total score.
Mine was 40 out of 50.
Nice. So that's a
79.
79 out of 100. So that's a C plus.
It's a B.
Ah,
It's like right there on the edge. It's a B minus with extra credit.
it's a C plus with extra credit. It's pretty close to a B.
It's a B in my book.
I would definitely play a second installment. I would buy a second installment.
I would petition. I would.
There's
go
probably
down,
already a petition out there for a second
I
one.
would do it old school. I'd be going door to door. Would you please sign this petition for Pokemon Snap 2?
Yeah.
I'd make signs, Danny, with colors.
I've heard that Nintendo's not against it. It's just not like ever anything that they've talked about developing,
You know,
which blows my mind with how big Pokemon is.
I'm starting to get to the point where I'm getting older. The more Pokemon games, there's more Pokemon that I don't even know them all anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, I would love Pokemon Snap 2. Even if it's, I don't even need a whole lot of Pokemon. I mean, I would like more Pokemon, but like, I don't need anything crazy like the newer gen.
What I like about this game is it gives more dynamic to the Pokemon that you already know and love. So,
that's what I'm saying. The Alolan Pokemon would be perfect because it's already got a lot of the throwbacks to the first gen. It would be perfect, and then you're only limited to whatever was on the island. I don't know. I think it would be cool.
It totally would.
You're
but
on
I mean,
vacation.
still, the Pokemon the Snap game that we have, it's neat to see the different dynamics to these Pokemon that we already have. And it's neat to see that interaction between the different Pokemon as kind of a third-person view of it, instead of actively going out to catch them, to be able to just observe them, is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective to the Pokemon universe that we don't otherwise have in the main games.
What's funny now that I'm thinking about this, and I haven't played a whole lot, but in Sun and Moon, you get to take pictures.
Yeah,
it's more like selfies
kinda.
and stuff, but just of Pokemon.
Yeah, no, it's just like certain spots though. Like you can only take pictures of certain Pokemon in certain spots. So it's like
it's there.
Yeah,
it's there.
I mean, it's the idea's there, but yeah. Again, I just like that the observation aspect of it, instead of just actively going out to catch Pokemon, but to be able to just sit and observe the Pokemon world as it is just really neat. It's a really neat concept. I can't believe that they didn't do more with this game. I mean, it's been almost 20 years now. Maybe next year for the 20th anniversary, they will release one.
I'm sure.
I'm sure a lot of people would really be thrilled for something like that.
I would be that person.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
I would take the day off work to play this game.
I mean, why not? I'll take a day off work for sure.
So you take a day off work.
I'll take 2 days off.
I'll just take the week off. I'll take the summer off.
Me and Lori were kind of talking about it, and maybe you brought it up too. I don't know. But playing Pokemon Snap as Pokemon Go, like to go and take
Pokemon Go as Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
I brought it up actually because that's what it reminded me of, and I actually had taken a picture. I was gonna send it to you, I just never did, of my Pokemon Snap in the wild. We should totally start doing that.
It would be a lot of fun to go around and take pictures of Pokemon, like us hanging out with Pokemon. It's kind of what we did when Pokemon first came out. Like, a lot of people were taking those pictures, and it's kind of died off now that Pokemon Go is old news. But I kind of would like to just do that between us, at least.
We should.
It would be fun. Maybe post a couple on that night too.
Post a comment if you think that we should do this down below.
Do it.
All of our handles. Send us a message.
Those people who are listening to the podcast on Apple, on iTunes and SoundCloud and wherever else you're listening to this, comment, please.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from you. So, anyway, let's move on for Pokemon Go, or Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Go, and we will talk about our Thrift Shop game. So, today we played MTV's Pimp My Ride, street racing, for our Thrift Shop game.
I was a little disappointed.
Why?
I was expecting more pimping, less riding.
Yeah, I kind of wanted more pimping. Absolutely. So we got this game for $1.99 at the thrift shop. We played a little over a half hour of it. What was the year? 99?
No, 2009.
Oh, 2009.
Like a good solid 10 minutes per course.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst part about it.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot more fun if the courses were smaller, like every other racing game, I guess.
I'm gonna be honest, though, the best part about this game was the commentary. Not that I want
I know.
Not that I want to toot my own horn, but it was the only
We're funny people.
We're funny people. You guys should be laughing a lot more.
Oh yeah. Putting the Pikachu on the car hood.
They didn't have a whole lot of options for whatever they were either, like
vinyl or decal or something.
Whatever.
It's kind of like
Pimp.
Yeah, it really wasn't all that great. And I guess, I mean, it's hard to judge because we only played, a half hour's worth, but
that's all I needed.
I know, but I mean, we didn't unlock all of the pimpiness of it. But that said,
these are technical terms. Although that's how the whole game was.
I know. What was the name of the money? Do you remember?
Skrillex.
Skrill. It was like Skrillex, but it wasn't. I don't remember. Oh man, it was Skrilla. Yeah, it was something like that.
Like gorilla, but Skrilla.
Why? Why did they even have? Why not just say money? Do you need to make up a word for it?
Money, and they can't just say pimp money, because then every person on the street was either a hunter or
you can't just
customer.
Say pimp money.
There's limits.
Can we say pimp money on this podcast?
We can now.
We just did.
Pimp money.
Pimp money. Pimp money to.
Does that mean what you paid
ride.
for this was pimp money? You paid $1.99 Skrillings
to paint your car pink with your pimp money.
It was an amazing soccer mom vehicle.
It was, yeah, it totally was.
And my windows were tinted, complete spray painted pink. Yellow Pikachu. It could have been gold, but the gold was meh.
The gold was more yellow than the yellow was.
A little sad.
Oh man, guys. Yeah, it's not a great game, but I mean, we had a lot of fun with it. Not so much playing it, but
that was about it. We had a lot of fun dissing it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of weird terms that I don't know.
On a scale of Final Fantasy to Mary-Kate and Ashley, where would you put Pimp My Ride?
Pimp My Ride. Not as bad as Mary-Kate and Ashley, maybe 5 notches back there. I mean, once you get used to the controls, it was doable. We both came in second continuously, so I mean...
That first place guy was hard to catch.
Yeah, he was.
Mike, we named him, I think.
Something like that, yeah. Something douchey. Sorry, Mikes.
Sorry,
It's
Mikes.
not really a douche.
It's not your fault that your mom named you Mike.
The running joke is that just about everyone has a Mike that they know that is just a jerk. And that is very true. And
I in my life, I've only had maybe 2 mics that I really had a
Didn't
problem
like,
with.
yeah.
And I get along with just about everybody. But anyway, back to the podcast here.
Just check the commentary for the rest of that
you
tangent.
can. Yeah, totally. Go to our YouTube channel. Watch our video. Actually, you can go to our Facebook page and watch our video there because we actually streamed it on Facebook first. So we've been doing a lot of Facebook stuff. Go to our Facebook page and follow us there if you're interested in what we got going on. I've been streaming a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
Planning on streaming more. I like the Facebook platform just because it's a little bit easier for the people on Facebook to interact, where I don't have a huge following on Twitch, so it's kind of harder for me to interact with people.
Stuff.
So
Yeah.
Not that I have any problems with Twitch, it's actually a little bit easier to use than Facebook. It's easier to set up and get going. But overall, I just kind of like the interaction with Facebook a little bit better. So yeah, go to our Facebook page and like us there. What are we playing for our next game? We haven't actually talked about it.
Final Fantasy 4.
Are we gonna actually do it?
Yeah, I'm already halfway through.
I haven't started it at all. I need to catch up. Ah, jeez.
I'm really enjoying it so far, so I'm excited
Nice.
to review it. So.
Well, I'm excited to start it. Again, I've played Final Fantasy IV before, but it's been so long now that who knows? I don't remember anything about it. I will be playing the original Super Nintendo version.
And
it's technically Final Fantasy II, but you know.
I'm playing the PSP version, which I don't think I played the PSP version before. I think I played is the PlayStation one a different version too?
I think the PlayStation one is enhanced from the original, but only slightly, and then they enhanced it even more for the PSP version.
I think I played this game before, almost to the end of the PlayStation version one. So this one I'm playing is a little different. But
I think the PSP version is probably the best. Only because it's enhanced more, but it's not like the DS enhanced version, because they have a DS version too, and it's awful, and I don't like the chibi characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think your version is probably the best way to experience it. But I really like the original Super
playing the DS one. We're all playing it apparently.
Well, I guess we all have to review it then. Lori needs to get on board.
She's gonna play. Yeah.
No, probably not.
All 4 of us playing Final Fantasy 4.
Haha. So yeah, look out for that. Hopefully next month. If not, we'll throw in a fun game to fill it. But we might be able to get it done by the end of next month, so look out for that. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode, listening, depending on where you're at. And yeah, we will see you guys next month for Final Fantasy IV. Bye.